y'all that don't know, the Jim Couch, I know everyone knows something, you know, like Della, Trey, y'all know a little bit about it. We come together to build a Kennedy team. And it's not just a Summer League team, we trying to make it a program. So when you guys come back, pros, college guys, might have a couple of high school guys, when y'all come to play, it's a program y'all can rely on in the summer to get better. And y'all can build on for going into next season. That's the whole plan. We're not just doing the team just to go out here and get some views and I'll be taking it serious. We're trying to build a program for years to come. For when you guys get older, you know, some of you youngers, y'all get older, y'all done with school. Y'all done at the pro ranks or whatnot, y'all may want to coach. Y'all may want to get in the corporate world or whatnot. It's a big network between all of us. Myself, coach, the Couch family, we're a recommendation.
What's up, coach?
You know, type up a letter for you guys. It will help you guys go to the next level, all right? So keep that in mind that this is bigger than just basketball. You know, basketball is bringing us together, okay? We expect y'all to work. You know, I'm just gonna be, y'all know me, I'm direct. I don't have time to play games or BS with y'all. Look, don't come in here with the egos and all that stuff, because that's not what we about. You know, we about being fair and no politics. That's why I asked y'all to come. Some of y'all were hand shoulders, some of y'all reached out. Check y'all out. Y'all seen, y'all know basketball is one part of it. Y'all got the character, come on through your case. It's no problem. It's no politics, but we're not dealing with the BS, man. Like, just being real, we're gonna get this out the way early. Like, we'll tell you this wrong. You know what I'm saying? We got access to a lot of players as always. We can always replace you. But that's not what this is about, man. Come in here and buy in, coach him, listen to him, buy into the team, play for one another. Because yeah, y'all can come here and get 30, post on screenshots on Instagram, but we won't care about that in a couple months. But winning that championship, that's for us. See what I'm saying? And and when we win the championship, everybody wins. You feel me? So keep that in mind when maybe things are not going your way, maybe not playing well or something. Because guess what? We playing against some other, you know, be real, hooping motherfuckers. Like, we just gotta keep it real. Y'all not gonna always win that play, but stay with it. And make sure at the end of the day you want more plays than them so we can win. That's all this is about. All right? All right, so I'm gonna pass it to Coach, but before Coach goes, after he gets done, we're gonna get warmed up, dynamic warm up, get y'all rhythm, functional movement type stuff, get y'all some shots and stuff, and then he gonna take over, apply some sets, and then we're gonna do what y'all came in to do, hoop, rhymes. Definitely gonna get a one-on-one game, you know, said that, you know, get that out the way, see who the bucket getters are. I know y'all itching to get that on. Y'all can start. I ain't got faith. You know what it is. So we gonna get that going, man. So, you know, with that being said, just have fun. And we got more guys that are here. Some of them are overseas, still finishing up their season. We got NBA guys that's gonna come to play once they get back from vacation, long season. You know, we still got guys that are in college doing their summer session. So there's a lot more players than what you see. But we gonna build from that.
All right, my name is Cardell Dudley Jr. I'm the founder of Finest Magazine, co-host of the Focus TV, also scout for the Jim Couch National Trainer Showcase. Former college player, played at the College of Southern Maryland, you know, signed with Lincoln. Finished my basketball career at Frostburg. Began after that internship with Dime Magazine that developed into a full-fledged writing career. Was still pursuing a chance to go overseas. Got the opportunity to get in a pro camp, did well. Got offered a contract for a team called Coca-Cola that played in the Philippine Basketball Association. I was on my way to play overseas, and during the pickup game, got my knee blown out. You know, so that kind of made me have to pivot in a sense. My knee wasn't responding. It took a couple years for it to get back to normal. But, you know, the old saying, you know, when we make plans, God laughs. So while I thought it was, you know, depressing a blow to everything I thought I was about to do, it actually ended up being a blessing because all the experiences, the up and downs in my basketball career, not playing high school, having to go to the JUCO route, getting on the AAU team that opened doors for the JUCO route, all those things led to me being able to connect with a lot of ball players on a lot of levels, you know what I mean? And when I got in the media game, I saw the power behind it. Obviously, you know, we grew up watching, you know, the ESPNs and whatnot, but when you in it, you kind of understand the power, you know. Write a good article, a lot of people going to take a look and see what's going on over there. And once I saw that, I took it serious. You know, I took the responsibility of honing my writing craft and also just being being honest, having integrity with whatever I write about a player, a coach, and started that. Got my first full feature, wrote in Bounce magazine, interview with North Carolina Pro-Am, Errol Reese, and magazine was sold all over the world, and that jump started everything. Then Dime decided to go to a more entertainment type direction instead of just sticking with basketball. Took a year off trying to figure out what I was gonna do. A lot of people still hit me up about articles, so I said I might as well start my own. For people that don't know, I also majored in graphic design, so they taught us how to do all that, groomed us, put us to the test while I was hooping, you know what I mean? So, we would have to go out in the city, you know, talk to local businesses, uh, do projects for them and stuff like that. And that's how come I was confident I could do it. And one thing my graphic design teacher always told me, he said, if you hone your craft, you should always be able to get a job. You should always be able, because he said literally everything is graphic design, everything you see. It started with a design. So as long as you hone your craft, you should always be able to make a living. So kept that in mind, put that in work for myself. So I'm on Mag, and it just took off. First credential was to the Nike Global Challenge a few months after I started, and it's been on ever since. Just building up, putting on players. I was everywhere, man, from high school to street ball, semi-pro, college. Took a few years to crack the NBA, but I was cool with that, man. That's the highest level. So I was just like, look, let me put in some work for a few years, and we'll see where it goes. And he got to that point. We cracked the code, got into the Wizards, which is very tough to do. I think they only credential maybe like 40 reporters a game, 25 at home. Unless it's a big game, they may make an exception. So to be one of 40 outlets that can get in there at game by game basis and cover the best players in the world is a blessing. I don't take it for granted, no matter how bad they are and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, especially the history of us and media, some more blacks. It's 93% white, so we gotta handle our business when we get opportunities. We can't mess it up. So, I've been using that. Got put on, obviously brought on board a scout for, Jim Couch. Um, you know, it was very interesting at first. Some of the powerhouse AAU teams, they didn't even give me a no, let alone answer. So I said, fine, this is a chance for me to prove myself. So what I did was I really had to show I knew what I was doing. So I was scouting, and I would get some hidden gems up there, and they would go up there and play against the New York kids who had D1 offers, big time offers, whatnot, and did work. So that opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, all right, this dude really know what he's doing. He just not getting a bunch of names, and I just stuck to that formula, and we managed to blow it up to this year. Man, we had Gonzaga come up, the first WCAC team come up there, man, which is huge. Come up to New York and battle, man. So it's been a blessing, man, and obviously, trying to bring it to fruition on the pro level with this Jim Couch DMV team, that they put me in charge of as far as like putting a team together, putting the right pieces together, each something to compete. But the main thing is development. Giving these guys a taste of the pros, a real taste, so they can really see if they got what it takes or if they don't. It's just talk, you know what I mean? So, good year one, 8-2, couldn't ask for a better introduction. Made it to the championship, fell by 2 points, staying still, but looking forward to trying to right the ship. Feel like we left the championship on the table. We're trying to get that back this summer.
Come out here, play hard, no BS. Go to work. Just go to work. I know some of you guys, I've seen some of you guys play. We got a great veteran leader right here who used to give me fits coaching against him. But I always said, hey, true leader. So pay attention. Pay attention. You can learn from each other coming out here. We got guys that are pros, we got guys that are college guys, and we got guys that are entering the college ranks right now. So learn, listen and learn, all right? Never be content about your game. You always want to build and want to grow, all right? So let's come out here, let's go to work, let's play hard, let's play together. We're a team. Cardell already said, no BS. No BS. Because he's already said it. I'm quit. I'm done with you. I'm done. I've already done this. Don't want to go through the BS, all right? We're doing this for a reason. You should thank this man. Thank this man and what he's doing, putting this together, putting those open runs together, finest magazine runs together, all right? So, no BS. Let's go out here and let's work. Let's bring it in.
Together on three. 1, 2, 3.
Together.
All right, put the ball rolling.
Hey, how you doing? Brian Hall, head coach of the DMV Jim Couch Summer League Foundation. I come from a coaching background. Over 20 years, I've coached basketball, College of Southern Maryland, St. Stephen, St. Agnes High School, and then I'm co-founder of the Nova Hawks out of the Northern Virginia area, where we've been in for 8 years. We had a team traveling up and down the East Coast, play basketball for a season over in the Philippines, where I was fortunate enough to play for DKT Force One with a great group of guys, led by head coach D. Diacampo, executive vice president of Unified Strategic Management in the Prince George's area, and one of the directors at HMS company located in Alexandria, Virginia. I was fortunate enough to coach Cardell Dudley at the College of Southern Maryland. So our connection over the last 15 plus years have been a special one. I took time off coaching, but he brought me back into the fold this past summer. So just fortunate enough to where we're giving kids opportunities, from high school kids going to the college level, the college level kids going to the pro level, an opportunity to play and develop their game. So just look excited to continue this foundation that Cardell started with the help of Sean Couch and the Jim Couch family. It's just excited to continue this momentum and bring that championship home.
Okay, so when I talked to Sean Couch, he mentioned about what can we do to help some players we know during the summer really get battle tested, get reps with things they need to improve in real live competition. And one of those players was Everett Hammond, who was the starting point guard on our team. He's always been mostly a 2 in college. He's been a scorer. But for him to translate to the pros, he needed to be a point guard.
No, that's not the one. Who's the one he's talking about was a pro? They wanted to see him.
Right. Everett. That's one thing I
Okay.
He's the first team.
Everett is right. Oh, no, hold on. Which one is that?
He's shooting the free throw.
Oh, okay. UMass guy.
Yeah,
Got you. Okay.
My mom about to try to bring him back for the G League, develop him. So
Okay.
he said he can bring him back for.
And was it another one?
Fucked up on that one.
Huh?
Fucked up on that one. You should have told Tyler to send it to all South. The easiest stop. That's on you. That's your young man. You supposed to tell him send it all. Because that way, if they blitz the middle, he got the skip. Oh, you only had one option on that.
I got you.
I'm good now though. You rested me well enough the first half. That was on you.
There we go, Abe.
So, we was trying to figure out a way, should we put him in certain workouts and all that. I'm like, man, he down here, man. Let's just put a team together. Let's just do a Nike Pro City team where he can really develop under the lights, like being pushed by the top players in our area during the summer. And I can get him ready for the pros and transition from a point guard real time. And he was with it. Couch was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Made a few calls, got in there. The rest is history. Everett was kind of the focal point of that, but not just him. A lot of other guys we brought on the team, like, all right, we see their games. We see where they need to be to probably turn this into a pro career, or they're coming fresh out of high school when they need to translate to the college career. So let's devise a system, let's coach them up. And it went pretty good.
Well, Cardell called me one day, actually texted me, and he said, hey, I got a little opportunity for you. So I listened to him. He told me about the opportunity with coaching in the Kenner League. Cardell knows me. I'm not a summer league AAU type guy. That's just never been my thing. So he told me, he was like, look, I'm bringing you back into the fold. He said, I know you want to coach. I know you've been itching. I hear the conversations that we have daily, just talking about the game in general. So I know you're itching to get back into it. I hate wasting time, all right? Literally, I hate wasting time. We had to run suicides, waste of time. Hate wasting time. Pay attention. Shit happens, I get it. It happens. But pay attention, be focused. Everybody. I didn't just stop it because of that. All right? Miss layups. Come on, finish, fellas. Be focused. Be focused. Be focused. Y'all trying to get to that next level? Y'all know what it take? Y'all know what it take? Y'all know what it take? All right? Let's go to work. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. He was actually right. You know, I stopped coaching the Nova Hawks about 5 years ago to concentrate on my god kids who I've helped raise for the last 15 plus years as my own. I wanted to concentrate on them. I wanted to see their sports careers grow. And though none of them took the basketball route, swimming and lacrosse and just other football, soccer, I wanted to be present. And I know coaching didn't allow me to do that at the time. So when Cardale called me and finally we had a conversation on the phone and he told me about the situation, I was excited. It was just one thing. I said, and Cardale, remember this. I said, do you plan on having Tyler Perkins play, my nephew? And he said, oh, he's definitely playing. I said, all right, I'll coach the team. So I was excited to get back in the mix.
Yeah, man. So when we was looking for a coach, it was me and Couch threw out a list of names, but I was just like, we need somebody that can connect with guys from different areas because we're going to also have always some New York players and they got to be comfortable. So, Arnell, who I work with, Jim Couch, he's living down here now. So I asked him, he's a player development coach and coaching his own right, got his own AAU team, Team Mega. I asked him, could he come on board? He was like, he with it. So that gives us our New York connection. So New York guys come, they can be comfortable. Plus, he's the one guy that played point guard full time coming up. So he can really help our guards. And I thought it'd be good for, like Everett and all those guys.
Oh, no. On that pick and roll, show him.
What we're going to do on the post, if you're on the weak side, we're going to need you to be here for the roll. Give that guy a chance to recover back. The distributor will let you know. If you're already here, you be anticipating that pass anyway. Understood? Everybody got that?
That's the weak side, fellas. That's the weak side. That's the weak
side. Allow the big to get back. Understood? Everybody got that? Guards, do me a favor. If you're through the screen, let the big know. I'm through. Go back. Talk. So because they're doing their job trying to help you out, even though they're over helping. I'd rather that than no help at all. I know we want to have space, there's too many guys. Balls here.
Standing.
And we're just standing.
Watching. Move.
Guys, if you pass the ball here, don't stay here the whole time. Cut through so we can replace.
There you go.
Understood?
Hey. Then, when me and Coach had a conversation, I was just like, look, man, I'm tired of you hitting me up after every NBA game, telling me what every coach should do, dog. Just come on, man. Like, enough of this, man. Come on. That's how I knew he was itching. I'm like, dog, I got to get you back in, coach. You drive me crazy. It don't work like that. So when we talked, he's like, he with it. He did, he said, can Tyler play? I'm like, of course. This would be a perfect introduction for him for what's coming. You know what I mean? Like I said, development. And then Coach asked, well, can we get another coach, which was Nawan, who younger brother played for him in Nova Hawks, was co-owner, I believe, of the Nova Hawks, whatnot. So, and I was like, yeah, Nawan always been cool. He fits in, like, with the Jim Couch culture, it's a different culture. It's a healthy basketball culture. It's very healthy. Like the last decade, it's sort of with me being a part of it, I never experienced nothing that healthy. Whereas different guys from the trainers to the scouts, the media, we all just fall in line to help these kids and get better for a couple of days and carry on the tradition of Jim Couch. And it's never been an argument, never been no beef, nobody behind the scenes, questioning credentials, none of that. It's just we here to do what we do. And it's some big time people, like training some of the best players in the world, coaching them, it's official. So, and obviously anything Nike's backing, is serious, and they don't just back anybody. So we gotta come with it. We got, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of pressure even on me. I'm coming up from the DMV. you know, them Nike, them powers to be, like, who these kids? They better be able to play. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be some, yeah, Sean, we want to have some talks. Same thing with the team. You know, coach was like, you know, Couch was like, all right, Cardell, this your show, but, you know, you sure you good with it? And I'm like, Sean, we good. And he was just like, all right. And he fell back. And that's what he does. He lets you, he delegates and just, unless he really got to step in and something going, just going crazy. And that was the case, man. You know, just got everybody on board. And I just went down the line, all right, we got this, we got the point guard, we got Tyler. Ojo hit me up, who I known for years. I'm like, yeah, you could be the vet, but you could still ball. Plus, I felt he would be a fit because his game not predicated on scoring all the time. His MO is defense, you know what I'm saying? But he could still score and run a team and all that. And he's willing to sacrifice at this stage in his career, you know what I mean? Where a lot of other guys, you know, as you know, man, they trying to relive past glory, man, fulfill their Kobe dreams, and it's like, bro, it's over. Let these youngest turn, man. We had our turn. So, you know, he came in, fit right in, and, you know, we went from there. Then, you know, obviously with Coach, you know, in a sense, he had to adjust a little bit, you know what I'm saying, where not being in full control, you know, he could be a little control free in there. And I'm like, relax, I got you. Like, this is not a Mark Jackson, you know, assistant coach. You're gonna go snitch up top. I'm like, I'm at the top. So I'm like, I got you. Like, I think this is the first time where he could just coach. He ain't got to worry about nothing else. And that might have been an adjustment for him because it's just like he used to a lot of drama, you know what I'm saying, in certain spots. So I'm like, nah, you won't have that here. And if it is, I'll get rid of it. Just, I need you to do that part. You know, just like, you know, you got to identify weaknesses in players. You know, my weakness, I know I can coach. I've done it before. My temperament, I'm not the head coach thing. Certain things I know I'm a snap. So I need somebody to do all those things. So I'm better as a player development assistant, backing them up, putting the team together. That's my strength. So you got to be real with yourself, man. So, you know, he fit right in. You know, he could take little attitudes and stuff and keep it pushing me. You know, I might just step to a kid and everything like that, man. Get the fuck out, you know, I just can't deal with it, man. So it's just little certain things like that, man. And it jailed, man. We had our first couple practices and we could tell everybody bought in. And then it was just about, you know, putting the system in real time and seeing if we could build this chemistry in real time. So, you know, it was fun.
You know, as Cardell was saying, it was an adjustment for me because, you know, I'm used to a certain way, a certain level of dictating, you know, what my team needs. And it was a relief that Cardell was able to do those things that normally I would have to do. But it was an adjustment for me as well. I remember early on we were talking about the roster, and I always told Cardell, even though he laid down the ground rules for what we wanted to accomplish, and I always said, when we get into the game, I'm a different person, and I think he knew that, and he respected that, because I only coach one way.
We touch the paint, it's like, oh, let me see who I can kick the ball out for the fancy three. Why? Make a fucking layup. Make a fucking layup. What y'all just said, but get the fuck back. That's number one. All right? Tyler, God! Time out! Time out! Do your job! Do your job! How many times do we have to say off before game, fifth game, get back? Whoever's up, get back. You can't always crash. Butt naked back here. How many fast break opportunities are they going to get? When are we going to learn? Stop doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's bad, fellas. Come on. They got at least 10 points of transition offense right now because we're not getting back. Come on.
Regardless if it's a summer league game or a real game, you know, I only coach one way. That's the only way I can do it. But it felt great to not have to worry about the attitudes. Cardell took care of that quickly. You know, we had a couple, and I didn't have to step in. I was just listening. It was kind of a relief that I was able just to sit back and listen. You know, the group that Cardell put together was outstanding. You know, once he said, you know, this was our plan. This was the Jim Couch, Sean Couch plan. Everybody fell in line. We had a couple of practices to where they bought into what we were trying to do and what we were trying to accomplish over the summer. But not just the summer. This is something that we want to continue to grow. It's almost like you're putting that program together to where it's not just about 6 weeks in the summer. It's about a continuation to where, you know, we're watching these kids, we're developing these kids, these grown men, and young adults, I would say, and we're getting them ready for that next level. So we appreciate everyone that bought in, but the chemistry that we had this summer was, and not just from the player standpoint, from the coach's standpoint, from the GM's perspective, was a great match, and we'll see more positive things come out the rest of these summers going forward.
No switching. There you go. There you go. Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Hey, you're supposed to be.
Obviously, Everett, he was at the top of the list, being connected to Couch, and, I watched him throughout his career in college. Tyler, like, Coach always said, capital class MVP, all that. We always gonna keep a couple young bulls in high school, come up and show them the ropes as they getting ready for college, and they can see it real time. Cause look, man, everybody like to talk like they ready for that next level, but you gotta go through the fire, man, to understand how not to get burned. So that, I think it was crucial to, what you're seeing now in his freshman year, his success. Obviously Ojo, the vet, just super vet. We ain't even really have to coach him. Let him just do what he do. He understood what we was trying to do, go in there and do what he do. Like, he literally would change the defense based on how he said. We never say the word because we trust him. Seen it too many times, man. And he saved us from a couple more L's by just doing that. And people don't understand. Like, it was one game I don't know what the hell was wrong with us. We started and they jumped on us. The Toons, the worst team in the league at that point. Jumped on us like 16-2, 18-2. So then, man, we started walking them down. He got a couple stops. And that really, I think, that's why I think everybody kind of really believed and bought in for real to what we doing. Because you don't just see that. And also, before I continue with the roster, I don't consider the Kennedy League a summer league. To me, it's a pro-am in the summer. There's a lot of summer league. Like, we can just go to a regular gym and, like, pay this fee. Hey, man, we're going to put a couple teams in here and run the summer league, get some shirts. But this a pro-am, though. Like, it's a different level. You know what I'm saying? It's a different level. If you don't come to play, you can get embarrassed, and it's a different type of pressure. You walk around the city and you get your head rocked, and everybody talking about it on social media, looking at you funny and stuff. So, it definitely works with that. Dorian and Derek were two guys that came via tryout. I knew they came to my open runs a couple times, but they hit me up, said they want to try out, say cool. They proved their case, especially, Dorian. Dorian really went to work. So and he played professionally overseas, so it was easy. Derek, this is kind of his first time kind of getting in this high-level atmosphere, but he did enough. He was coachable. He didn't give us no problems. And he did his thing. We had Amari, Kelly, and Jared Billups come over from George Mason. Amari, man, super talented kid. When he get out his own way, it's nothing nobody can do. 3-level scorer, can post up, athletic, strong, has IQ. Yeah. Colin, my man Colin, I know him since he was a kid. One of my OGs, and Von Myers, that's one of his products. African kid, came up, super smart, was extremely raw in high school, but had good size. Played for a lot of good teams. He even played at Finley Prep with Dylan Brooks and Kelly Oubre. He was a young bull on that, man, so he done seen a lot. His strength is defense, and that's why I asked him to come on. Rebounding defense, and he's athletic, he can run the floor. Like, he had a bunch of rundown blocks that saved us. And, with him, he's smart, but he can be too smart at times. So we had to reel that back in. And, at times, but man, all in all, he bought in and did what we asked.
I just say you first.
Hold on. Fuck being frustrated. Just do what we say, period. All right, listen. Please don't say anything else. What I'm saying to you is the fouls that you're picking up are unnecessary fouls. From yesterday to today, they're unnecessary. I will take aggressive fouls any day of the week, but you're putting yourself in bad situations to pick up the foul. That's what we're trying to tell you. Fuck what nobody else does. I'm talking about strictly you, all right? Half the fouls that you picked up in the last 2 days are caused by you because you're out of you're playing bad defensive position. That's what we're trying to make you understand. All right, come on. We need you.
Obviously, can't forget about Logo-ish, my man. You know, we knew he was a shooter coming in, saw him in the NCAA tournament. We didn't know about the point forward skills. That really made us hard to guard, man. Because he got the ball and handling the rock. And, you know, coach like, hey. And I was like, nah, let him rock. Let's see. Let's see. Came up there, crossover, hit the three. Like, okay. Came down, passed the E, three. Like, okay. All right, there's something different. So the bigs, they were in no man's land. So we always had one big out the paint because they had to deal with him. And then Caleb came in. Not a lot of people knew about him. Again, I asked him to come for his athleticism and defense. So when he came, he's 6'5". Like, Cardell, you sure? Man, he's kind of small. I'm like, just let him play. And he made a defensive impact. And he got thrown to the Wolves. I think his first matchup was Jamarco Pickett, played for the Pistons and the G League affiliate. That's the guy he had to guard. So we threw him right to the Wolves. He adjusted over time. And by the time we got to the championship game, he was starting. You see what I'm saying? So, and making an impact. And then they saw his athleticism, his defense. We don't really lose nothing. Being able to guard all 5 spots with a 7'3" wingspan, 40+ inch vertical. Hey, man, it was tough, man. They just all fit perfectly, and they all provided a strength that we need, and I think that's how you should build a team. Sometimes it's not, you see a lot of these teams in the programs, they just get a bunch of killers. It's only in basketball, it can only be one shooter at a time. So them other killers gonna get dissatisfied. You need other guys that can focus on other things, and that's what it is. And I think the unselfishness of like Everett. He was his team leading scorer. You're a first team all-conference guy. He could have came in there crying and all that. Nah, he facilitated. Think about it. Our first game, who almost broke Allen Iverson's debut record? Tyler, the youngest player on the team. And everybody just moved out of the way. That's when I knew, like, we good. Because nobody was complaining. They just let him rock out. And that's when I knew, like, all right, we got the correct bunch of guys.
When Cardell told me that he explained his plan, Everett Hammond was obviously the focal point, trying to develop him and get him ready for that next level. And I was absolutely on board with it. So I knew some of the guys by name, but not all the guys I've seen up close and personal. So when he started, telling me about this, the guys he's had conversations with, I was excited to see them up close and personal. So when we got together and had our first initial practices, the guy I was most excited to see was actually Ojo.
Other than that, we fine.
Yeah,
we fine.
Yeah, I agree. We get up. We had that lead twice. We've had double-figure leads, and they came back and cut it to 3-4 points. But once again, we were up
12.
We were up 29. It was 37-29. They got the last 4 points because we didn't even get a shot attempt. We turned the ball over. So that's the difference of going up 10 at halftime and only being up 4. Had many battles with Ojo as a coach, and him on the other sideline, just dominating the game with his IQ and defensive presence. So literally the first practice, I went over to Tyler and I said, do everything that he does. Follow him. This is how you become a better college player and a professional one day. So I was excited. And then we got to see the rest of the guys, the Doyens of the world, the Derricks, the work ethic, Dylan, the work ethic that they displayed in those couple of practices. I mean, come on. These guys put it out on the line. They play well, they play hard, they listen. Because I'm a coach hard. Once again, I coach one way. So literally instantly, I got back into the coaching mindset. And I see things, and I'm always looking 2 steps ahead. And that's a good thing about it because, I smile when I have these conversations with Cardale because as I'm thinking 2 steps ahead, Cardale's thinking 3, 4 steps ahead. So I always smile when I hear him talk about, the game or what he sees or what, players need to develop to get better. So when he brought these guys in, it was the right fit. Once again, this is a pro-am to where, we're trying to develop players and get them ready for that next level. You don't need all killers on one team. Once again, it's only one ball. So you want to make sure that you have the right fit. Somebody has to rebound. Everybody got to play defense. But it's the intangibles, what can you bring to the table if you're not scoring? I always ask players this, like, what did you do to impact the game other than scoring? So we had the right mix of defensive players, of guys who wanted to move the ball, guys who were unselfish, guys who wanted to do the dirty work. And then the guys that just flat out knew how to score the basketball. We had the right fit, like I said, Ojo came off the bench most of the season, even though he was always in the closing lineup. Ojo came off the bench. He said, "Hey, coach, whatever you need, whatever you guys need from me, I'm willing to do." To hear that from a guy that's probably accomplished more than everyone on our roster, I think it resonated with the other players. It's like, okay, this is an unselfish guy. This is a guy that's forget the resumes of the world. Forget what you've done, over the past couple of years. We all coming together for a common goal. So I think that was the initial thing that really, put us over the top, the unselfishness. And then personally, we weren't going to take it anyway. Check the egos at the door. From the coaching staff, from the GM to the coaching staff to the players, we all checked our ego, which is obviously it's an adjustment for all of us because we're used to doing things a certain way. But if we want to come together and accomplish something, you must do those things. So, once again, I was watching Ish on TV, help his team, get to the Final Four. Just a short few months, before I got a chance to coach him. And the player that I saw on TV, he was even more of a, just not even about his game, just about his attitude, his work ethic, his leadership. Most importantly, I used to always say, lead us. I said that almost after every time out, Ish, lead us. And he took that challenge and definitely did that. He just wasn't, logo-ish, as Cardale likes to call him. He rebounded the ball well. His coach said to him after one game, he's like, "Look, hey, I need you to rebound it, for us this year."
And Ish, that's you too. Like, be real, I'm gonna say it right now. The difference between you being an NBA prospect or going overseas is your rebounder. Offense, you straight. You should be averaging 10 in this league, and you're not. So you do that, you dominate the boards, and you got the ball in your hand, that makes us even harder to defend.
And Ish was averaging over 10 rebounds a game. So he put in the work over the summer to improve and not just become a shooter, but a well-developed player and, more importantly, a leader. So I just thank these guys, the Everetts, the Tylers, the Ishes, the Doyens, the Derricks, the Hicks. I believe it not, a couple of guys, Tyler, if I hadn't said him, guys accepted their roles, Trey, Dylan, Mouse. These guys put in the work, and there was no ego. When it was their time to be called, they came in and performed. Or they were on the bench just, clapping guys and cheering guys up. So that's what you need to have a real team. Those are the successful teams. No matter what level you're on, those are the teams that generally win. The guys that, play their role and accept their responsibility and check their egos at the door. And this was one of the best situations I've been in as far as, team chemistry.
All right, Jim Couch Foundation started. He was legend. He was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first coach. Taught him the game. Obviously, we know the great heights. Kareem went on then called Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what he went on to do. And then from that point forward, pretty much every top New York City ball player came through the program. And he would do a lot of free programs, free workouts in the park. Come on, didn't never turn down a kid, just come on. If you're serious about working, come on. And that's where it started. He was big in community in New York, putting together leagues. He's also the first one to get a Rucker Park game televised. Helped the Dykeman League that everybody knows it. From what I've been told, he started that. You know, Nike Pro City won multiple championships coaching. You know, it's a picture of, you know, his son Jim Couch, my vet, and Rod Strickland, Kenny Smith, and Mark Jackson on the same team. You see what I'm saying? So they all came up together. And Sean's humble about it, but Sean was a bad boy in his own right, man. Late bloomer high school, went to Columbia, became an all-conference player, got drafted in '87 to the Pacers, killed at Portsmouth, got drafted to the Pacers, same year as Reggie Miller. Keep in mind, he was a 6'14", and he was killing everybody. So, you know, he did his thing, man. So he put in his work, not just on the organized ball. Obviously, with what his father was doing in the park, he came up in that environment too. So, you know, to me, he's a thoroughbred. You know, you got a Columbia, he could step in the ballroom, do work in that environment, obviously coming out of Columbia. But he's street smart too, so you can't play him. But their passion is just helping players get better, helping them get opportunities. And the foundation started, I believe, 2011, 2012, around that time. I was writing for Bounce, so I didn't even know about his history. I just knew he was the editor-in-chief of Bounce. So just writing articles and stuff, little did I know he was watching me. You know, watching my progress and stuff with the writing, or the basketball growth, different things on coverage. And about 2016, 2017, he asked me to come on board and be the DMV scout. And that's when I learned about the history of him and his father. And he broke it down like, oh, wait a minute, I know you all these years and I ain't know that. You know, like, you got drafted. Like, he played in the same Portsmouth with Scottie Pippen, Muggsy Bogues, all those guys. So he played against killers, you know what I mean? You know, he could ball. You know, he could ball, man. And obviously, growing up seeing what his father was doing, he was around the legends. So I jumped at the opportunity because this area, I love where I'm from, but it can be tough to be here and deal with a lot of people here because there's a lot of ego and insecurity. So one of my goals is to get these kids up out of here. I know it's not the cheapest strip with the tolls and all that, but if you can, for a weekend, get up out of there. Go to New York, breath of fresh air and just hoop, because that's what that environment is. And year after year, I get compliments and people like, man, I wish we had something like this back in the DMV where we could just hoop. We ain't got to come here and deal with no funny vibes, people hating on you, political evaluations and all that. And I would get the kids who a lot of evaluators said, want to be a D1 guy, want to be D2. I'm like, man, I think they all come up in there and prove it. And they go over there and prove it against D1 guys that's already signed a seal. And, you know, that's how I started earning people's respect as a scout. You know, parents, you know, USA Basketball, Nike, powers that be, obviously the couches, and it's grown from there, man. So, you know, that's what we do, man. You know, weekend in October, mid-October, we bring the kids up there, and you just let them we let them rumble. We just don't roll the balls out and say play the games. Nope, it's a training aspect. And we carry that tradition, just like in our first practices before we even got to the skill part and all that. Nope, strength and conditioning, let's do that. And they wasn't ready for what I brought to them. They wasn't ready for that. And you can tell with the regimen I put them in, they was hurting. You know, and that kind of set the foundation, like, we dead serious, we not playing. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all coming in here thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna get a couple buckets, post some highlights on IG, this ain't the team for y'all. So it weeded out a couple people right away because they saw how tough it was and like, yeah, I'm like, you did us a favor, you can go. Thank you. You know, we kept it moving. And that also put him through drill work, skill work. And, you know, he stepped to the side, just let me do my thing. And that kind of set the tone for like, all right, these coaches are for real. They basketball people. So let's listen. And it went on from there.
You know, over the years, I saw Cardale post a lot of stories and IG stories and talk about Jim Couch. So I started doing my homework. Cardale would send me articles on you know, who Jim Couch was. And I got to understand, like, wow, you know, first of all, I was blown away. You know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first coach taught him sky hook. It's like, wow, a living legend. So as Cardale would tell me about his foundation and what they were doing up in New York and told me about, you know, his son, Sean, you know, I was just absolutely blown away. He used to always try to get me to go up there, but it never matched with my schedule. But I would follow closely to see what these guys were doing. And I was always impressed. Once again, you know, Cardale would say, hey, I wish we had something like this down in the DMV area to where we can do and mirror what they were doing. And lo and behold, you know, here we are today.
Thank you very much, man. It's an honor to be here. I mean, the Couch's legacy is unbelievable here, not just in New York City, but beyond. I don't know if you saw his dad out here at the table. His dad is actually 91 years old. And he's a guy here that's still living his dream through basketball, giving back to the kids, no kids that making to come here, and it's just an honor to be here. So again, I know everybody's ready to hit the court, stretched out, you're ready to go, so I'll keep it short. But this is real simple, man. Right now, everybody that's in this gym is participating is here because somebody recommended you. There's somebody, could be a coach, could be a teacher, could be somebody that knew the Couch, but somebody that recommended you to be here. And a lot of what I worry about or look at it in terms of this process for you guys at this age is your relationships. Your relationships will change the whole trajectory of your life. The relationships you make right now will determine how successful you're going to be. And if you're basing your success on how far you go in basketball right now, you need to change your mindset. Basketball right now is a tool for you guys to do whatever it is you wanted to do. Like you're looking at me, director scouting for an NBA team, coach professionally overseas, did player development for the Wizards, but I'm a high school coach. I'm an AAU coach. I'm a grad.
Well, obviously, Kennedy is the most storied, you know, program, whatever, some league, whatever you want to call it in our area. They pretty much started when Patrick Ewing came on campus. One of my other OGs, DC legend, you know, Ed Miles was the assistant coach on that Georgetown team that, you know, brought Patrick Ewing and all those guys in. So, you know, he's one of the first organizers and was the first organizer and director of the Kennedy League until he handed over to Van, who runs it now, who's his protege, Van Johnson, who's also a cool dude, somebody you know, I touch base with to, you know, get game from time to time. You know, so I'm fully aware of the history. When I was a young boy, I was starting to come up basketball-wise, 15, get on the AAU team. Remember 2000, they had a big game. You know, Kurt Troublesmith versus Steve Francis. They literally shut down the area. I don't think well, I ain't gonna say we haven't had a game like that since, because you know, the Kevin Durant during that lockout year, there was a lot of shutdown games throughout the area that summer because they ain't had nothing else to do. So they was going around just shutting down gyms. But, you know, that was special. And he got the W. You know what I mean? That's when I really saw for myself, you know, Trouble Smith was really the dude. You hear his name, but what he did in that game, you know, special. Again, especially being older, not as athletic, shorter. Again, Steve, who was well on his way to become an all-star point guard, super athletic, freak of nature, do it all. And, you know, 63 came, you know what I'm saying, on that, and they got the W. So it was fun watching those guys, and they had that kind of gave us the juice, you know what I'm saying, embraced the summer leagues. And then obviously, when I got to college, started playing with them, they put us in so many summer leagues, it was ridiculous. I don't even remember, it would just get a text, be here on Saturday, be here on Sunday, be here on Friday. We playing in the Herb Bowl before it stopped. We playing this league in Alexandria, right off Route 1, some recs in the league. We had the team at the Farms, had the team in McKenna, got a couple, like, we were all around. And they would mix up the teams from our soon-to-be college teams, so you get used to playing with everybody, and then throw other guys that they knew in there, so we have a full roster. But it was just a fun summer, just bumping. So when we came into the season, we were confident, we was ready to go, and we were. You know, that's why we was feeling ourselves like, man, we pro. And at that time, JUCO guys was coming straight to the league, going straight to the league. We like, man, we about to kill these boys, man. Very least, you know, go to Duke or something like that. You know, all that delusional talk young boys be talking about. Then we got in the games, and that's when we realized JUCO's tougher than most people realize. And they ain't have a bubblegum schedule. They put us against a national schedule. It was like, God damn, the whole, like, let us build up to this. But I love it, man, because that's how you get signed. If you show a good game against these killers, that's how you get signed under 4 years. You busting up bubblegum at JUCOs. I mean, you're supposed to. So the history speaks for itself. You can't come up here as a ball player and not hop in one of these summer leagues and prove yourself and try to build your game. You got to. Now you got the, you know, Pisley, Watts. Watts been around forever. You know, Bronson up at B-more. There's a lot of heavy hitter leagues, man, but I just feel like the Kenner best represents what we trying to do as far as development, and really that's about the best you're gonna do in our area during the summer is really having a coach. You know what I'm saying? You can't just roll the balls out because you're gonna get your head rocked. You're gonna get beat down. And we've seen a few teams just throw bodies out there and they were getting smacked, and it was embarrassing. Then it ain't so fun when you 0-4 and losing by 30 every game, no matter how much you scoring. So, you know, all in all, man, very thankful for the history, the OGs, laid the foundation down. We just trying to keep things going.
I think it was important for us to compete in the Kenner League because, once again, it was structured. I'm not a huge fan, once again, of just regular pickup summer league basketball. I mean, that's good in its own right, but when you're trying to get better, when you're trying to develop, you need structure. You need something that's as close as possible to a real basketball game that you can get. And I thought the Kenner League brought that. So when Cardell and Sean had the opportunity to, you know, get us in this league, you know, they jumped at it. So I thought it was great for the guys. I thought it helped them, even as we see these guys in college now. You can tell it's like, you know, they worked on that over the summer. So you can see their games, you know, develop a lot this summer, and they're putting that to good use in the winter basketball season now. So I thought it was highly important that we got into this league, and hopefully we continue that over the next couple of summers.
Hold on to the damn ball. Go up strong and finish. We getting beat. Every damn loose ball we getting beat. We can't hold on to the ball. You getting stripped, foul. Get to the paint, can't finish. Come on. Wake the fuck up. I wasn't gonna stop it. I let y'all take y'all ass whipping for a reason. Come on.
I feel like it gave us the best chance to fulfill everything we was trying to do as far as push our guys to develop on the real, you know, basketball play that's going to translate to college, or real, you know, structure that's going to translate to college or the pros. And it's no disrespect to all the other summer leagues, man, but for a lot of stuff, it's kind of like show, you know, go one-on-one. You might play some structured basketball here and there, but really you're just hooping. It's kind of like, you know, glorified pickup. Where this, it's not. It's about as close you're going to get to the real thing in the summer as you're going to get in our area. And that's what it is. You really got to coach. There's other guys that can coach. You know, like I said, we had big-time college guys, all conference guys playing the tournament and stuff. And when I only lost in the regular season was the Bowie State. And they played more poised, and like they were the more highly decorated team. You know, I know we let the refs, they were horrible, but we can't let that because we still had a chance to win. Those guys executed Bowie State, made the free throws, and they beat us.
What are y'all waiting for? Thank you, ref.
Foul on 32.
Excuse me, ref.
That's his first.
Hey, is that not his call?
At the line, shooting 2.
Is that not his call?
21.
And it was good for us. It forced us to go back to the drawing board because we started getting a little cocky, getting a little sloppy, and thinking it's easy. And it's never easy. You gotta take every game serious. You know what I mean? And then we didn't lose until the championship game. So I'm definitely high on the Kenner League. Just wish that media team would be more less clout chasing and reward those that's putting in work so the league can grow even more. Even though they may not have a big name, how you think other guys became big names? They hoop. They got a spotlight put on them. People wrote about them, spoke on them. Now they got a name. And then that brings more attention to your league. Clout chasing certain guys because they play for a certain school or AAU affiliation. That's the only thing about the league that irritates me. You know what I'm saying? Because what are the guys putting in work? That's how it should be at all times. Yeah, just like the Couch Foundation, we believe in the work. And I'm the same way. You ain't gonna just roll the balls out, come in here and think you deserve certain things. I mean, we understand what you did before, but you ain't do that with us. You gotta prove yourself again. So that first camp, yeah, we came to work. The gym was hot as hell, about 100 in the gym, and I knew the type of regimen team, skill work to kind of bond these guys because when they go through something as tough as they did, I'm not gonna put our secrets out there. They know when you go through something as tough as they did, it bonds them because guess what they doing afterwards? Man, can you believe what coach put us through, man? And they hit me up like, dog, you had me sweating like 2 minutes into the work. We ain't even do nothing. I was just doing the hold. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it was also strategic. I'm not going to just have them do stuff just to do it. It was to fire up their muscles so they won't be in position to get hurt when we working out and stuff like that. And, also the test to see who's mentally tough. And a couple guys, they weren't tough. They came to the first practice, went through it. Then the second practice, yo, coach, my ankle, sprained my ankle, man, you think? Nah, bro, that's the decision you got to make. And they ain't come back. We kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So I believe in that, and because when you put the work in, you push the players, everyone sees what's going on. So it's clear why certain guys don't get put in certain roles or get more minutes to start and stuff like that because they work harder doing those practices than you did, and they produce more. So you can't say nothing. It's clear in front of everybody. We did have one kid, I'm not gonna say his name, that fought against us from the beginning. Defensive, Dorian went to work on him. We telling him how to adjust. He never adjusted, and Dorian just kept cooking him. And, coach went off like, you kidding me, game winner. Just gave him the jumper. After he just scored. And he's like, nah, man, he carried. I'm like, man, he carried, bro. Like, you want to see the highlight? Nah, man, we good, And that let me know where his attitude was. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this one. But coach is like, give him a chance and stuff like that. All right, cool. We get the games, he's not playing as much. And the attitude came out. And this is why what goes back to my point about putting people through the work. Yeah, he got through the work, but he wasn't one of the standouts in that work. So he just thought he deserved to play more. You can see his body language on camera. It was just toxic. I'm like, we ain't got time for that. One thing about the Kenner League, the season goes by quick. It's only a month and a half. 7 games guaranteed. Then you got one of your playoff games. And you can be done. Like, you can be 7-0 and lose in the first round. Then what? So it goes by quick. So we don't have time to be dealing with, baby stuff, man. We treating y'all like pros. That's the whole point. And the pros, they don't care. You out there pouting, release them. You don't even get to see the higher-ups. It just be some assistant that just come and take you out. Give you your stuff, take your key card, and go about your business. Hope it work out for you. And that's the reality. So we're trying to get them ready for that so they're not shocked if they deal with some wild stuff because that's what's waiting for them at pro level. It's a cutthroat business. So coach said, I hit up coach like, man, we might have to deal with this because I'm tired of looking at it. So he said, we'll deal with it next game. We win the game. We pull them to the side out of respect. We don't even want to bring them around the players. And, coach, I let coach talk first. So I'm listening. So he's like, what's the problem, man? What's going on? You seen the body language and all that? I just feel like I should play more. He's like, so coach, like he always did, even when I played for him, he brought it to you. So, all right, tell me who you should be playing in front of. And my man said, I ain't gonna throw out no names, and see that pissed me off even more because I'm like, now you being an a-hole, now you a soft a-hole, because you ain't even gonna stand over it. Like you ain't gonna say what you really feel. Like who you better than say it? So I had to walk away a little bit. So coach kept talking to him, and then I was just trying to keep my cool, and this is why I say I can't be the head coach because I snap on people. So he said something along the lines like, "Dog, I should be playing. They know me out here." That's when I lost it, and we was in the back hall. Luckily for him. I was like, man, don't nobody know you, dog. Like, who the fuck? You asked me to come try out. That means nobody know you. Nobody was courting you to be on that team. What delusion are you? What reality are you in? You delusional, dog. You talking about you better not, and he couldn't say nothing. You literally did all that. So you should be thankful to be on it. This is a prestigious thing, man. This is, dog, let's be real. It's $2,100 to put the team in there. That's more than a lot of mortgages. We ain't got time to be playing with, man, dog, go. Like, and you not contributing, and we winning? Bro, you ain't got no legs to stand on. What are you tripping for? But meanwhile, we got Derek right there just waiting his turn. Derek get his minutes, he produced. No matter how limited, produced. And I made sure to shout him out. Because see, if he ain't complaining, y'all don't have any room to complain. He contributed with Derek, man. Shout out to you, man. I'm going to give you love on that. He ain't played hardly probably like a minute the whole season. Came in, hit a 3, gave us some good minutes, gave us a spark, man. That's what it's all about. He stayed ready. That's what it's all about, man. So if he ain't have an attitude, he came in and produced when he got his minutes, nobody else should be complaining, man, for the rest of the season, man. Buy in and win this thing. Get in the league history books. This is our most historic, prestigious, if y'all youngers don't know, pro-am that we have. Goes back to days. Go back before I was even born. I'm talking about before Ewing came on campus, all that. So we got a chance to be up there. Let's get up there then. And he stayed ready. And even to Derek's point, he hit me up. He said, yo, after the season, he was like, you was right about the competition level and all that. And they said, you was right, like, I can't even front. Like, I got work to do to make sure I'm ready to go next time. I said, cool. And with that being said, if he come back ready, how we roll, your roll gonna increase. You're gonna sink or swim. So you're gonna get more minutes just by enduring and helping us win. That's the loyalty. But this kid, he was just stuck on himself. Then the final straw was when he lied. Saying, yo, man, can you play me? I got a coach coming to check me out. What he don't realize is league rules is no college coach can come watch any Kinder League games unless it's a player of theirs playing in that game. So if you play for George Mason, the George Mason coach can come, but if he ain't playing, he gotta go. He gotta leave the gym. So now you lying to me like we don't already know the rules and stuff. So now I lost all respect for him. I'm just like, bro, you good. Look, we gonna let you go. Just stay at home. And that was that. You know what I'm saying? Because you just becoming a headache. I'm ready to swing on you. Your father peeking around the corner like he can't get it. It's just like, I'm not here for all that. I'm here to help these youngers. And now we got to deal with this. But what does that take away from energy and valuable energy and time from the other players that's buying in, trying to get better? And the fact is, he wasn't better than a lot of players on our team, if anybody. That's why you had to hit us up. So that's the stuff I try to protect us from, because we just don't have no time for that, man. Because a toxic player of cancer, they can bring down the whole shit. They can bring that whole shit with them, and coach don't play nobody, man. Then the cancer spreads, and now we got an issue. So now you got to go, partner. We ain't got time for this. So you got to man up. Wait your turn. Thing is, he put him in the game, hit a 3, stand up for him. He's like, hey, like, no, let him rock. Hit a 3, all that. But what he don't realize, he lost our faith during that practice session. That's why we needed that. We're trying to coach you up. Get on him. At least try, adjust to stop him. So now you fighting us in this situation where you're getting the barbecued. You see what I'm saying? We ain't put that clip out. I'm like, I ain't gonna do that to you. That's not what we're about. But he got barbecued. So you not taking coaching there. How we gonna trust you in the game? But that's what happens when you stuck in yourself. So, that's what it is, man. You can't play around with that. And that's our standard. Other teams do what they do, but that's gonna be our standard moving forward. If you're not with it, hey man, there's other options, man. Go see if you can play on another team. It's all good.
We started off with a training camp where guys came in and put in work. This is different over the years to where normal pro-ams or summer leagues, you're not practicing, you're not putting any work, you just show up to the game. Obviously what Sean and Cardell are trying to establish here is a different mindset. It's about the work, and the work is the most important thing, regardless of whatever else you have in your mind. If you put in that work, you will see results. So from day one, we jumped straight into it. Cardell got guys and worked on their bodies, did a lot of strength and conditioning work from the jump. Obviously, we wanted to make sure that they were ready for what we were about to put them through. So we had a 3-hour, I believe 4 hour first day of practice where, guys did the first hour strength and conditioning, then did some light drills, then we went into it. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to implement what you want to implement. And for the most part, guys bought in. And we saw from the jump who would fully buy in and those who would just, go by the wayside. And we had a couple of people fall off or give, lame excuses about ankle injuries and I can't make to the next session. And we let them pretty much just, cut themselves. So when guys bought in for that follow-up practice, you saw the work that was being put in. You saw the work that guys understood what we were going to do going forward for this, month and a half. But once again, this program is only a month and a half. So guys bought in. And for the guys that didn't, with the episode that Cardell was talking about, it was different for me because once again, I usually had to handle those situations. And when we had that little dust up after one of the games, it was a situation where literally after I spoke and Cardell spoke up, I moved to the side because I saw Cardell, take over and be the GM that he needed to be. Assertive, he spoke his mind. He put the young man on notice to where this is not what we're going to do, and we damn sure are not going to do it right now. But if you want to do it, let's do it. And he put him on notice, and the situation could have gotten worse. Luckily it didn't. But truths needed to come out that day, and Cardell told the truth and let them know how it was going to be. This was not a negotiating situation. It's only one way that we're going to coach this team and develop this team. And you're on board or you go by the wayside. And fortunately for us, we just had to make a decision to get rid of him. That was actually the only blemish of the whole summer. And it was unfortunate because I'm always trying to coach up, a young man. And young men are going to make mistakes. We had another incident where someone made a mistake, but it wasn't detrimental to the team. We kept it in-house. We dealt with it, and we moved on. And that kid got better.
Oh, Christian. It's on Christian, on Christian.
I just want to apologize for my actions. I got in my feelings the last game. I'm not going to happen again. I apologize for that.
We're a team, fellas. We're a team. Let's stick together. Let's stick together. All right, clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up.
But this is one of the situations where we couldn't, allow it to spread that cancer to our, players. And we had to just make that, that move. But this was just different, because what we're trying to establish. This is not just a typical pro-am or a typical summer league team that we want to program that we want to start. This is something that we're hoping that will continue for many years to come. And guys will spend 2-3 years in this program and continue to develop over the summers and get better, and whether it's for college or that pro level, this will help them. And then to know that you're associated with a legendary name like Jim Couch, you can't get any better than this. So I think guys will understand when they sit back and they're in our age after playing, the 30s, the 40s, the 50-year-olds, sit back and understand where this game of basketball has taken you. Just sit back and be proud of the accomplishments that you've made in your career.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. We bumped heads at times. Like I said, he had to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, we need to get another play. I said, we good. There was a couple conversations about that. He was like, man, I feel like I should be. I'm like, dog, we barely getting minutes for everybody else. See, then I was like, nah, man, like, I had to put my foot in there, like, dog, we good. Like, I'm telling you, when everybody gets here, it's going to be tough for you just finding minutes. And when he saw everybody as we went along, that's what it became. So he started asking us, like, yo, sub somebody in if I'm taking too long and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And he would say that, like, sub somebody in, and we'd just come there like, yo, like, we need some stops, get Jared or Caleb, man, or we smacking the team. Like, one time, right before the playoffs, we was smacking the team, yo, let the starters get some rest, put Derek and all those guys that don't play that much and let them rock out. And they got heavy minutes that game. Like, certain things like that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, he's used to one thing. This is the first time where, like, all I got to do, I hate to go to, it's like you've been dealing with a trash girl and then you meet the one. You had some trauma, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to adjust because it's just like, is this really the one? Then finally over time, you're like, yeah, she proves herself over time, like, yeah, she's it. I can exhale. And that's what it was. It's like, no, you good. Like, people don't even understand, even our championship game, we never had our full team. We didn't have our full team. If we would have had our full roster, man, yeah, we probably smacked them. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the comeback, because Malik Bowman, the one who killed us at first, the overtime elite kid, he wouldn't have been able to get off like that because we had bigs and stuff that can guard him. He had a young player, Tyler, who's too small and wasn't as athletic. So kudos to them. They took advantage. So we had to adjust. Goes back to coaching. That's what I'm saying. We don't have time for attitude because what if we call your number, you got an attitude. So you in there on your own stuff, the other 4 guys bought in, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's chaos. You need all 5 guys on the same wavelength, especially when you try to come back because they jumped out on us. And we were able to do that. We just, we ran out of time, man. But like I said, they deserve to win. I'm not taking nothing from them. But I would have loved to see that matchup with our full team, with Amari and even get shot with our full team. I don't. It'd have been tough. It'd have been tough.
Ish and Colin.
They that big? I mean, I only seen a couple.
That's what
You don't want to.
Nah, I'm just like,
I look at it because we're gonna end up starting bigs. I want to go ahead and put it in the system now because once we start getting big in the next weeks, it's gonna be Ish and another big, regardless of what it is. Tyler Everett and Dorian. Tyler Everett's gonna be solidified. Then when Will come and then the other big boy come, that's probably gonna be the next starters,
The only thing I worry about is one of them getting a foul trouble.
Who?
One of the bigs getting a foul trouble. We got a bunch of guards.
Dorian can play that role. Dorian can play 3, 4, and 5. That's how I look at it. Yeah, Dorian can play. Because my 4 is my big anyway. He can guard. He can guard. That's how I'm looking at it today. Instead of going 3 small, just want to go big on.
Just tell him.
It was exciting coaching with Cardale. Obviously, Cardale and I, we bump heads a lot, but it's a healthy bumping of heads. Even during our conversations over the years, we might bump heads. We don't agree with someone's take on a certain aspect, but it's just about growth. I sit back and I've always been proud of guys who I've had under my tutelage at some point in their basketball careers. I'm proud of all these guys, and I'm extremely proud of Cardale and the direction that he has chosen in his career. And once again, I spoke about it earlier, I'm always, 2 steps. Normally, I'm always 2 steps ahead. I see the game, 2, 3 steps ahead. I started understanding Cardale's mind when he made me think about certain things or go back and reevaluate and look at the game differently. So to have him on the sideline and not have to deal with, because I'm used to, once again, I had to, you know, I was the GM. Not only I was the owner, I was the GM of the Nova Hawks and the coach. So it was different to sit back because I was like, hey, Cardale, let's do this. He was like, hey, I got it. This is the player and me not knowing these guys, it was different because I've never seen some of them. But I was like, oh, but I know this guy. He was like, Coach, trust me. I got you. So, you know, it was relinquishing, you know, something that I've never, you know, had to relinquish before. And to see what he put together this summer, oh man, you know, I say it to him now, you know, you put a heck of a team together. You saw it before anyone else saw it. And you saw the right pieces that we needed to mesh. Once again, you can't put a whole bunch of killers together. So that's what I used to always try to do. Make sure that you have the right blend, even though you have those onesie, twosies that don't fit. You need them, but they don't fit. And he understood that, hey, you know, if we have this right combination of guys, we can make this thing work. So, you know, I would tell these guys, you know, and that's the one thing about the coaching staff, you know, and literally we were having this conversation a couple of weeks ago when we were discussing ongoing, you know, the ongoing summers coming forward and things that we wanted to do. Hey, if you guys see something, put them in the game. You know, I said, especially first half, you know, because I'm a coach. Like, once again, I coach one way. You know, I see the game and I coach off a feel. So it could be a guy at the end of the bench. If I think that, you know, I can use him at this particular time, he might jump our normal rotation just to put him in. You know, hey, I see something. I need this guy right now. You know, put him in, you know. But I want these guys to understand, you know, my assistant coaching staff to understand that, hey, you have that same right. You have that same authority. You'll see during a lot of timeouts this summer, I step back. Hey, Arnell, talk to him. Cardale, talk to him. Nawan, talk to him. You know, y'all got this timeout. What do y'all see? You know, tell me what you see. And instead of me getting it from them and then going back to the team, I would say, you know what? You tell them, you know? And you would see me behind huddles sometimes, and I'm sitting here like, yep, okay, yeah, that's what I would have said. Damn, I was about to say that. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a great point. You know, so each one of them bring a different aspect of the game that you need when putting the right coaching staff together. And Cardale, once again, you know, he saw the guys that we needed, not on the court, but off the court as well. And it's just a good blend, you know, and I think going forward, you know, you have player development. You have the guys that can, you know, the X's and O's. You got the guys that want to step on the court with them and like to get, you know, dirty with them and will push them, you know. I guess he's the young buck of our coaching staff. Well, him and Cardale, the young bucks of our coaching staff and Nawan as well, you know, who can get out there and still play and push guys and show guys. So that coaching staff that we have going forward, you know, we've heard it all summer. Oh, we want to play with you guys next summer. You know, countless times after games, you know, walking to the, you know, the car after the game, the parking garage, you know, I mean, we would get bombarded with guys saying, hey, I like the way y'all doing things over there, or parents, you know, hey, I respect what you guys are doing over there. You're not just rolling the ball out and you're actually coaching them up. So this coaching staff, I hope we stay together for a long time because, you know, the guys coming up that's playing under us, they can learn a lot from the coaching staff that we have.
Yeah, met Coach Hall, obviously in college in Southern Maryland, juvenile years. I didn't know how to take him. I was definitely a different dude then. I was way more edgy. I felt like I had the world on my shoulders, and I'm like, basketball, the only thing that's gonna open doors for me. So, you know, I was on one all the time. Not like I was quiet, but it didn't take much. So I felt like I said, I got the world on me. So anybody crossing the line, like you in the way of me trying to make something in my life, I'm gonna take you out. You know, and Martin I knew from years because my first year go to Allegheny, we played against him when he was an assistant at Allegheny, PA. So I knew him. through that. You know, so it was already a trust with Coach O was different because he came in, a lot younger and whatnot, but he was just a yeller. You know what I'm saying? Caught me off guard. Just everything. It was just like, man, who was this dude yelling all the time? Like, dog, we got it, dog, goddamn. Like, you can hear him from the parking lot coming in the gym. We like, oh, we don't feel like dealing with this. But he earned my respect because early in the season, I had to play the 5. It was just out of luxury. A couple of bigs, for whatever reason, decided to transfer or were ineligible for the first half of the season from the last regime. That was their first year. So they brought me in the meeting room. Him and Martin was like, yeah, we're going to need you to play the 5. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, you do realize it's college, right? He's like, you got no choice. You're the only one that go down there because I was the only one that would go down there and bang and wouldn't care. So I'm like, shit. So I'm like, whatever, man. You know, do what we got to do. So he was in charge of the front court players. You know, when they would break up practices, we had another Coach Grant, who would do the guards, and then he would handle the front court. Then we would switch up, go down there and do guard work. Guards come down into him. But he was mainly for us. So, yeah, we heard his mouth all the time, drilling us, getting on us. All that defensive concepts, offensive concepts. So we get to the game, and, you know, I'm dealing with these bigs and stuff. And I kept getting in foul trouble early because I would go up to try to block their shot because I could jump and I was getting it, but I would still come down. The ref would call a foul. And I'm like, man, come on, man, I'm blocking the shot. Like, stop giving these big dudes, they twice my size, man. So Coach like, Cardell, just keep your arms up. I'm like, they just gonna shit on me and cook me. He's like, just do it. So I'm coachable. I'm just like, all right. Man, first time I just put my arms up, man, airball the jump hook. I'm like, oh, that shit worked. Oh, this dude, he do know what he talking about. Then next thing, same thing, missed the jump. I'm like, damn, I'm wasting all this energy trying to block their shot. Like, oh, this is simple. All I do is put my ball up, box him out, get the ball. We all to the races, man. So that's when he kind of, all right, he do know what he's talking about. Then over time, he couldn't really get out there because I think he had a bad accident. He had pins in his wrist, so he couldn't get on the court like the other coaches could. Like Coach Marcus still hoop. Like he reverse dunk, 6'5", and shoot. He'd still get out there and go to work. So outside of him being the head coach, it was respect because we could see he had game. We didn't know about Coach O. So that's a funny story I always tell. So at the end of the season, we had like a little team dinner at Coach Martin's crib, and we over there, and we come over there, they put the tape in of his high school career, and he was looking like Baby Barkley and all that. And I was like double-doubles easy. Boys bouncing off of him, you just snatching boards, you know, going coast to coast, laying it up and stuff like that. So we looking, he's like, all right, oh, he putting in work. So then he come in and see us. He's like, hey, first person he look at is like, hey, Cardell, yeah, I would bust you up, boy, talking shit. I'm like, Coach, with all due respect, you putting in work, no doubt. But those are future lawyers and stuff you busting up, man. That ain't me. That's not. So it was just funny, but we was just going back and forth. But I did see he had game. He had all Met credentials and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, he could ball. He knew what he was talking about. And we knew about the PBC stuff because we played Summer League. And like people don't know, their little PBC Summer League team, kind of like our era with Lincoln Park, where they would win all the Summer League, they won more. Like they had trophies from like, they went all around just smacking people. It was crazy. It was just trophies galore. So they did their thing, just real hoopers. So, you know, we were the young boys that came up under them, and then we got the game. You know, I kind of took a little further, kind of get my eye on the curve with the NBA, seeing what that's all about, so to speak. So I can bring that back to the table for the youngest coming up under us now. You know, this what it is. This what it's like. This what it is. Even overseas, like he played overseas, so. Like I said, our coaching staff is just thorough because we at all levels. You know what I'm saying? You getting game from all levels because we, you know, been there, done that. So that's what makes our coaching staff special. And I feel like the players, man, they always just gonna get better on us as long as they willing to buy in.
You know, when I first met Cardell, I saw this hothead kid, and you know, it made me laugh back in the day because I used to have conversations with the head coach, and I'm like, what's up with this kid, man? Why is he always angry? You know, it's like he's mad at the world. But then I started understanding his background, you know, how he grew up. In the environment you come from, you know, it hardens you. but more importantly, it prepares you. So I started to understand Cardale because we would go back and forth, you know. He was never going to win that battle, you know, never going to win that battle. He was still young, so you know I was never going to let him win the battle. But he challenged me to be a better coach, to find different ways to connect, and that was honestly, I believe that was the first time that I had to take a different approach to coaching, because it was, you know, back in the day, it was my way. It was any coach's way back in the day. But to connect to players, you have to find a end. And I found that especially when he, you know, came down. We had a lot of guys that was ineligible the second half of the year. And Cardale, who was our toughest kid at the time, he had to go from playing, you know, that 2 to 3, you know, guard wing position to being put in the fire as our center, literally our starting center, playing against guys that are 7 feet and, you know, but at least 6'8" every night. He was matching up against these guys. So I got a lot of time, you know, I shared a lot of time with him during those practice sessions and understood him and understood what drove him. So fast forward, you know, obviously he held his own against guys that Georgia perimeter. We went down to Atlanta, and their front court, they're big. Well, even yesteryear, their front court were bigger than NBA teams. 7 foot, 6'11", and they had a 6'7" wing that could jump out the gym. But all of them, athletic, skill, just could absolutely play. And we threw Cardale to the fire, and he held his own. And I believe that game was a 3-point game. The last minute of the game, they ended up coming out on top. But it was just one of those situations where it showed Cardale's heart. It showed his determination to where the size didn't matter. The physical size didn't matter. You know, it was about what you had inside of here. And Cardale showed that his toughness throughout the rest of the season. And even though he might have complained at the beginning, he took on that challenge and led our team because we didn't have those dogs on our team to where the intangibles, you know, they thought about the intangibles. They worried about, you know, defense. They worried about rebounding, getting on the ground. Cardale was, you know, one of a few that cared about the team concept of the game and not just individual stats. So coaching with him now, you know, once again, I smile with guys that I see that are coaching and doing, you know, great in life that were under me because he puts in the work. You heard us throughout this whole, you know, process. We talk about the work. If you put in that work, it will bless you with a heck of a career, whatever career that you take. And you can see from starting the Finest magazine to having a show, the Focus, and other endeavors that he's, you know, he puts in that work, and it shows. So, you know, having him, you know, next to me on the bench, you know, it's a blessing in disguise to where you get to pass on what you've learned over the years to someone else, and you see them run with it, you know, and take off, because the goal is always be better than, you know, the person before you. And he's proven that, not only with, you know, what he has done with you know, the Jim Couch DMV team, but with, you know, Finest magazine. You see where that has taken him. You've seen the people who, you know, blessed his cover or he's interviewed, and you see him on the sidelines at games. Go to a game, you know, in the DMV area, you know, you'll see Cardale, you know, or, you know, I've seen him countless times on ESPN. There he is on the sideline, you know, covering the game, you know. So the work is the work, and he's put in that work. So I'm proud of not only him, but, Arnell. I see him all up and down the East Coast. It's kind of funny, we have our little group chat. It's almost like, where's Arnell this weekend? Because he's always putting in the work, teaching, the kids these games, of basketball and life, more importantly, life. So I love skilled players. I love kids who can, young men that can do it on the court. But at this point in my life, it's been this way for a while. I want to see what kind of men you are after your playing career. And Cardale has shown that he's that guy. He's that guy that's willing to put in the work and develop these young men. And it's not about self. It's about maximizing their ability to take them to that next level. So that's why I wanted to bring in, Coach Nawon, my younger brother. Hey, continue this. I'm not, doing this forever. I always I told Cardale, I sent him a little, clip about the Godfathers back in the day when they brought, brought him back into it. I said, hey, I thought I was out, but they pulled me back in. So I always joke with them like, oh man, how did you get me to do this again? And I'm loving every minute of it, but I just want to pass what I've learned over the years down to them and let them run with it.
Get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Good work, man. I'm at Nawon back in Southern Maryland. They were famous for just bringing people, just pop up. I think he was at A&T, North Carolina, A&T at the time. So they would just bring people in our practices. So Nawon came, I guess he was home for break, and we had practice, and he came, jumped in. That's why I first, met Nawon, tough physical defender. Yeah, and, we matched up with my guy, Pat, and our teammate, all that stuff like that. That's where I kind of met him. Got to know him more with the Vogues team. He was co-owner. Always just been cool. I don't even know if he ever lost his cool. And that's why I felt like he would be a great addition. Because, we got guys that, between me and Coach O, we can, go off a little bit. But Nawon, he's usually the calmer head. He just come and get the same message across and in a calmer tone, in a calmer manner. And that's good for some players, because some players don't respond to, don't exert all that aggression. Similar to Arnell. Arnell don't really get loud or cuss you out, but he'll check you professionally, if that makes sense. But Nawon always been cool, put in his work, playing at A&T, playing with semi-pro with the Nova Hawks. Did a lot of good work and stuff like that in the league. So yeah, he fit perfectly, man. So he came in, even when I was coaching, hop right into practices, be another defender, got some work in himself. And that's what it's about, man. That's what our practices and our environment is. It's like, if you want to get better, come on now. Come on and work. And that's what the couch, their whole thing is about. Like, we ain't turn down, okay, if you want to work, come on. If you want BS, keep it moving. We ain't got time for it. And now we just bring that tradition down here, adding a little DMV flavor to it, and then, kind of making it our own. But we just carrying on the legacy. So, it's good. Felt like we got a top-notch coaching staff, so when the players come, they're going to get a lot out of the summer, man. So next move is just trying to get these guys up to New York to meet Jim Couch and really experience what it's all about, so they can really see, man, really understand. And I think that will make us stronger as a unit, coaching-wise.
When this opportunity came about, my first request was making sure that, my nephew, Tyler, was on the team. My second request was, getting Nawon a part of the team, whether it would be as a player, because I didn't know, exactly what we would need at the time. Because, with pro-ams and guys of the level that we had, a lot of guys were going elsewhere, playing elsewhere. in and out of town, not from the area. So he was an able body for us as well. But we decided to make him, strictly a coach. So having him on the sidelines, I coached him when he was when young in the little peewee leagues. Then I got the pleasure of coaching him in his semi-pro career with the Nova Hawks. So I smile about certain things because I've seen his journey as a player, as a coach, and now with his own son, coaching him, brings a smile to my face because you see that legacy, from what our father taught us back in the day. It still remains true. Once again, the work is the work. But the family bond, you keep the man upstairs first, everything else will follow. So I'm proud to, I look down at the sidelines and I see, goodness, I got a former player. I got my little brother, I got a guy that I know from Cardell and Arnell. I've seen his, his stories over the years, and the work that he was putting in with Jim Couch and his own, foundation. So I look down and I'm like, wow, we have a good group of guys, but it's nothing like, being around family, being around your little brother. So I smile and I say, let's keep this thing going. Because once again, I don't want to do it forever. I want to pass it off, I want to pass it off, and Cardell would be like, oh shoot, Nawan, Arnell, let's put them in that pipeline and keep this thing going. So coaching them, was hard because I'm going to coach him hard. I'm gonna be tougher on him than anyone, regardless. So he had to adjust to me, as that coaching figure. He wasn't used to, the yelling, that I would do to him. Like the other players got it, but he never really got it. So it was different. But to have him now, throwing out, what I used to say and his own ideas as well, once again, I just smiled. I'm like, okay, they all learned something, from the old man. But not only did they learn something, they have their own thoughts and ideas and things that made me go back to the drawing board and say, well, damn, I didn't even think about those things, great point, shoot, I missed that, I'm glad y'all caught that, and then I see those little side conversations that they have with players that are needed, because I'm a hard coach, once again, I challenge guys, I push them, I try to get, I maximize their talent, but it all comes from a place of love, so regarding, that's why Cardell and I over the years, our it wasn't just player coach, it became, when they say when friends become family, and that's what we are, that's like my little brother, so having those experiences, and them understanding where I'm coming from, because the one thing I will never do to any player is I'm never going to lie to you. I'm going to give you the truth 100 all the time,
I need you to be strong with the fucking ball. I need you to have your hands up and ready to catch every fucking pass, and I need you to bang on somebody. All right? What you did last week, you brought the energy. This is like some shit. All right? I did. Come on.
Can you handle it? Can you deal with it? Because I'm just trying to make you a better basketball player, a better person in general. So, doing that with Nawan, it was a challenge at first, but he understood where it was coming from, so when I got on him, he would be like, well, dang, he ain't getting on him. Hey, man, I'm holding you to a higher standard. You got that hall on the back of your jersey. I hold you to a different level, but I wanted them to see that, hey, if I'm coaching him hard, and I'm jumping on him, what you think I'm going to do for other guys, So Nawan took that challenge always with, look, what, like Cardell, actually it's similar. Cardell was just in the post, even though he can do it on the perimeter. Nawan, took that challenge of, what,
we got scores. We got guys that can drop buckets, you know. Let me be our best defender. So he always guarded the toughest, you know, perimeter guy night in and night out. So to have him come back, the first practice, he jumped straight in there like Cardell was talking about earlier. He jumped straight in there and was guarding the Tylers of the world, the Everetts of the world. You know, he jumped out there and pushed them and to show them, oh, this is what a pro, you know, type practice really is about. This is what you're going to have to expect when you get to that next level. You know, I'm going to push you. I'm not going to make it easy for you, you know, and then I'm going to talk some smack, you know, along the way to let you understand that this ain't easy. This because I'm, you know, 40 plus now, you know, it's not going to be easy. You know, I'm still going to give it to you, you know, and I'm half y'all, you know, I'm more than, you know, double y'all ages, but, you know, this coaching with them, man, has been a blessing. Coaching with them all has been a blessing. And, you know, once again, I hope we continue this for a long time.
What did you think some of the biggest challenges was going to be heading into the summer?
Just keeping everybody on the same page and ignoring the political BS within the league. Just focusing on basketball. Felt like we kind of got carried away with that at times, and I was always trying to realize back in, man, forgetting people text me, man, how they gonna post, man? Forget them posts, man. Forget all that, dog. We do what we do, we good. We do what we do, we good. Let them do what they do. We got our own media team covering our team on top of covering the league. We straight, you know, that's irrelevant. So that's really it, man. I knew if everybody bought in, we could do something special, and we did. You know, just fell a couple of points short.
Structure, of course. Obviously, when you don't get an opportunity to practice, you know, will guys buy in, or will you have, you know, the typical summer league? You know, it's the Pro-Am league. Would you have the summer, you know, the typical summer league team where it's, hey, it's your turn, you do it. Okay, let's move the ball to the next guy. Hey, you get a couple of shots here. You know, we wanted to make sure that everybody was buying in. We wanted to make sure that everybody was putting in the work, you know, on the defensive side, because, you know, after each game, during games, you would hear me stress the defensive side of the basketball. Because if you're not giving me that, you're not giving me anything. You know, you can't go out and score 20 and your man, you know, drop 25 and all you're concerned about is the points that you scored. Because bottom line, you know, guys will hear me talk about this. I'm a big plus minus guy. You know, what did you do while you were on the court? Was it a positive outcome or was it a negative outcome? Once again, you can score as many baskets as you want, but if you give up more, then you were a minus on the court. So you weren't productive while you were on the court, even though you might be the leading scorer. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not putting it in on both sides. So the structure is what I was concerned about, keeping guys together, keeping guys, you know, locked in to what we were trying to accomplish over the summer. And once again, you know, we came up a little bit short. But the one thing that I'm most proud of is we didn't add anybody. Not all year. The roster we came with is the roster we finished with. And we didn't even have half the roster for the championship game. You know, guys are going to go off and once again, it's over the summer. So a lot of guys are doing other things or out of town in certain situations, you know. But, you know, we prided ourselves on not going out and adding pieces to our team. We wanted to stick with what we, you know, what we have. And that's the one, I guess that's the one thing that, you know, why I never really wanted to, you know, get into a lot of summer leagues is because of the chaos outside of the political game, outside of just the game of basketball, you know, and no knock to anyone, you know, how you run your league or, you know, your rules of your league is your rules, you know. But we were just proud that we didn't have to go run and add, you know, A, B, and C player to finish up what we started. And I couldn't be more proud of the guys for the work that they put in.
Obviously, family time, a lot of dedication for that month, being away from the wife and the kids. Most people ain't know I had a pinched nerve in my upper back. That shit was hell. it hurt more to sit down than to stand up. Like I was really going through it, man.
So I actually thanked Cardell at the end of the year because, you know, I said to the, you know, him and the team, I needed them more than they needed me. My wife was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, a form of cancer, during the whole situation. So we were going through finding out what that was and what that entailed. So once again, the weekends, playing the game, coaching the game, that was easy, you know.
I was standing up because I was just in too much pain to sit down. I tried to hide it well, but yeah, it got me bad, man. So I knew I had to get a procedure done, but I was like, I'm gonna wait, tough it out, wait. But it was tough, like.
But seeing, you know, what she was going through, seeing her toughness, seeing what she, you know, would go through on a daily, that's different. That's when life hits you. It's a little different,
So,
you know.
It was affecting my left arm. Pain shooting down all the way to my hand, so I couldn't really move it, couldn't really feel it. It would just go out. You know, even some of the drills in the first one, the pain wasn't that bad, but I know this would go out, would go now. So I was just trying to push through it. So yeah, man, I compromised a lot, but I'm just like, if I'm sacrificing, y'all can't say nothing. You know,
as a man, you know, we're used to, you know, protecting our families. We're used to, you know, being able to, you know, solve an issue, or at least attempting to solve an issue. This was, you know, one of the first times in my life where I felt defeated in a way, because there's nothing I can do about it.
July to August, it's a big commitment. Like, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. But it was a fun-ass experience, man, and we weren't trading there for nothing, man. It was a good run, and the respect we got from people around the area, I can't tell you if you just coming up to us or hit me on a text or a phone, just like, I'm hearing about y'all team, man, respect, man, y'all doing good things and stuff. And a lot of the OGs was like, that's how the Kennedy League's supposed to be taken. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's how we got down back in the day. Teams took this shit serious, came in and went to war. That's how it should be.
And, you know, I thank Cardell and the Jim Couch family for, you know, selecting me to be the head coach of this team, because I needed them when, you know, life was tough. So for the guys, I thank you for giving me what you gave us this summer. You fought, you know, we challenged you. You fought, and we challenged you even harder because we understood what you guys could get to if you listened and you just did the work. And you guys did that. So I thank you for that. I wish you the best in your college and pro careers. But we got a chip to win next summer. Make no mistake about it. We're coming back for that chip, and we will get it. Love you guys. appreciate you bringing me back, man. Seriously.
Oh, nah, man.
Hey, this was good. This was good. This was good. I enjoyed this, man. Hey, you got a talented roster.
You always, though.
Hey,
That's
man.
the beautiful thing about this game. You never stop learning.
And look,
I see stuff now, man. I don't care if it's an NBA. I'm like, dog, I ain't know this at 18, man.
Hey,
like, what the
hey, look, it's like.
The young boy was hungry. I knew he was geeking because he called me like, Cardell, where you at? We got the jerseys. And that's how we had that jersey situation. Players, they just grabbed it, threw the bag. And I was like, dog, these Nike custom fitted jerseys, they cost a lot of money. People don't steal it. So that's all another issue we didn't talk about, man. But he showed his potential in that game. Yeah. Keep in mind, first game on that stage, he matched up against 2 Georgetown players, a bunch of pros. And he almost broke the Anson's record for a debut in the Kennel League, fresh out of high school, just like the Anson. It was a magical game. You know, I was smiling. You know, he was doing stuff I never seen him do, like the follow dunk at the end of the half, and you know, the defense, the tough shots.
Yeah.
The one he hit on Wayne Bristol, you know, between the legs, behind the back crossover, and Wayne stayed with him. He just shot it right there, and Wayne was with him, but he pulled back because he didn't want to get the foul.
Exactly.
I went straight through. I was like, man, he on. Let's ride this wave. So.
I think with that game, you know, it showed that Tyler, you know, belonged. Exactly. Obviously, coming from high school, he got a chance to play in the Capital Classic. So that was his next game. That was literally his next game in a team, you know, format was the first game in the Kennel League. So to see him play and to see him flourish the way he did, you know, I was extremely proud of him. Even after the game, when you guys came up and told me what he scored, I didn't see it. I thought he maybe had 20. It wasn't forced. It wasn't a situation where guys were just force feeding him. He just did the work. You know, he put in work, you know, played solid defense, hit some great shots. Obviously had the tremendous putback follow-up, the dunk right before half, made tough shot after tough shot. And once again, he just showed he belonged. And I think he earned the respect of, you know, his teammates, you know, especially Ish and Ojo, who has, you know, once again, their resumes speak for themselves. I think it showed Tyler that, you know what, I can play this game. And I asked Tyler probably about a month and a half into his college career so far, I said, you know, what's been the toughest competition that you faced? And Tyler said the Kennel League, you know, which you know, it made me, you know, was like, what? Seriously? You know, but then I understood is like, well, he not only played, you know, college guys, but he was playing against pros. You know, once again, had a cat from the Detroit Pistons, I believe. So he understood that, wow, you know.
Malcolm Miller.
Yeah, there you go. And then played against Supreme Cook, you know, I was in college, but, you know, I mean, that's just a man-child walking around, man. Georgetown starting center. So, you know, Tyler understood the assignment and went out and proved himself and got the respect of his teammates. So, you know, I look forward to seeing his growth, his potential. Obviously, you know, what you've continued to do with him and his trainers. You know, we take nothing away from, you know, Tyler's progress, you know, from his youth to, you know, where he is today. We understood that was a lot of people played a part of it. And, you know, and I always say, it's levels. So I actually, you know, a little story, you know, behind, you know, your training sessions with him now, your film sessions with him now. I did Tyler's first film session with him. And I said, Tyler, you know, there's levels to this. You know, obviously I can do it. Obviously I understand the game, but I want you to understand that as you get older and get more experiences, guys take you from point A to point B, point B to point C, point C to point D. You know, there are levels. Not saying that the guy that's teaching you A doesn't understand all the levels, but as they grow in the game, they have different contacts, you know? So I said, you know, I will do this. Anytime you ask me to do this, I'll be here. But, you know, figure out who you need to ask to do these things. I said, I'm not going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I said, you need to figure things out for yourself, you know? So when you sent us that clip, I said, you know what? Young boy done figured it out. He done figured it out. He understands, like, you know what? I need to go to different people to get different information, even though, once again, it's a difference between me telling him something, his dad telling him something, you know, than you telling him something. You know, he gets it, you know. He always hears it from us, especially his dad, you know. You know, his dad is his hardest critic, but he's telling him the right information. You know, I'm the next one. Well, shit, his mama might be the hardest critic, you know. Let's take all that back, you know. But, you know, when it comes from family, it's different, you know.
So mom told him, y'all went out to eat, and she was like, why didn't you call him?
Oh, let me tell you something. I purposely said what I did when we were walking out the Kenner game, when Tyler got, that game that he got exposed on defense, that was the game that we were all walking out of Kenner League, walking to the parking lot together, and I purposely said in front of his mother that, hey, why haven't you called Cardale to get on the, you know, the workout, the training regimen yet? You know, because I knew once, you know, Mama Bear heard it, that was it. So you remember, what, about a couple of days later, Tyler was calling you, trying to, you know, schedule the first session with him, because I know I didn't need to say anything else. Once she says it, she heard that, she was like, oh, he hadn't called yet? Okay, I got this, you know. So it was a rhyme to my reason, you know, or reason to my rhyme, however you say the slogan. But Tyler has put in that work, and obviously we see what he's doing now. It's just about, you know, continue to get better, you know, and I think, you know, you've been a tremendous benefit for him. You know, he's putting what you've shown him and what you've pointed out to him in these film sessions, you know, he's applying them to the games, and you see it. You know, you see how better he's gotten on the defensive side, even though he's still going to make his mistakes. You know, you can see where, okay, he learned that from Cardale. Oh, he learned that from me. Oh, he learned that from, you know, his dad. You know, it's all coming together. You know, he learned that from his trainers. You know, that move I saw him and his trainer working on. You see it all put together, and then once he understands it and he gets it, and he gets more game experience, college game experience, once now he's into his conference play, which you've told him from the jump, hey, you can play the Auburns and the Kentuckys, the out of conference, you know, schedule. That's good, and that's experience. But once you get to your in-conference games, oh, those are going to be the toughest games that you experience, because they know you. Both teams know each other in and out. You're at one of the top players on the scouting report. Once you get to that, you know, 1 or 2 level on the scouting report, come on, man, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, man. It takes a village. You know, he got a lot of people helping him.
Yeah.
As long as he stay humble and keep listening, he'll be fine.
Agreed.
And that's why everybody gravitate towards him and want to help him, because he listens. A lot of his peers don't. They already think they made it, and they want to be rude awakening. And that's why a kid like him has jumped a lot of his peers. You know, come on, man. It was 2 years ago. He D3.
D3.
You know, he didn't think about it. Now,
D3. He listened.
Putting in work. I mean, regardless, man, he in Pennsylvania Louisville, man. He beat Villanova at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Top 20 team.
He beat Villanova at the crib. And come on now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's getting there. You know, just got to stay with it. Got a lot more to teach him, but,
yeah,
you know, the summer going to be huge for him, because I expect a major league where when we get Kenner League play, he's not the bright-eyed kid like, man, I'm just trying to show him along. Like, he coming in there like, nah, bro, I'm about to be the best player in this month.
There you go. You put in the work, you listen, you put in the work, and you execute when your time comes. You know, good things are going to happen. And I think for him, you know, because he's all those things and he's willing to do the necessary things to get better, you know, I only see him, you know, continue to rise. So, you know, once again, you know, I thank you for not only, you know, bringing me back into the fold, but but taking an interest in him, getting him, and not only just him, but everyone, you are getting them right for that next level. They are being not only coached, but guided in the right direction. And that's the scary part when it comes to this game of basketball and sports in general. You know, so many people are misguided, mistreated, you know, lied to. This is not about us. This is not about you. It's not about me. This is about them. Maximize their talent, you know, to be the best that they can be. And regardless of what they want to do in life, they're able to do it because their foundation is strong, which goes back to the, you know, the Jim Couch, you know, foundation, the legacy that he's bestowed, you know, upon everyone, you know, starting with the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's of the world, which every time I hear that story, you know, I just smiles like, wow, you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like serious, one of the greatest of all times. He was one of the original coaches and taught him the skyhook. Like that's an amazing story.
Not just him.
Yeah.
You know, the write-up on Jim Couch, Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith.
Yeah. New York legends.
The world champion head coach, Mike Malone, son of Brendan. He told me stories about him years ago before the write-up. He said, yeah, I used to put Brendan in the stroller when his father had a coach at Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? I was walking him around the court.
It's amazing
between
stories.
games.
Amazing stories.
So when you see Mike Malone on the sidelines, being energetic and all that, that's the environment he really grew up in.
Yeah.
And you see clips over the years where he hopped in and was giving them buckets. And, you know, like, look here, bro, I know I'm older, but, you know, there'd have been problems back in the day. I don't know, man.
I can do what I can
Jamal,
do.
You're lucky. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just a big tree, man. And that's the respect you get. Just, like, I got to get y'all up there so y'all can see the showcase. Like, I mean, I came in the gym a couple years ago.
Yeah.
The baseline, Tiny Archibald sitting there. I'm like, what the
Hall of Fame, Tiny Archibald. Goodness gracious.
He's just chilling. He taking any action, man. Everybody, and the youngest ain't even know who he was. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, like, I've seen that countless times, man, where legends just walk in the gym. Came in my first year, played for Austin. He was scouting for the Timberwolves at the time. He in there looking at the next wave.
Yeah.
Like, those are experiences you just don't get, man. So.
That's why, you know, you said, you know, meeting Mr. Couch will be influential to this, you know, new wave of talent and youth, you know, to know the story, to know your history of the game. I think it's needed, especially when, you know, you have players now that are just for show, just for highlights, just for clicks, just for likes. You know, you got guys now that, you know, that's all they're concerned about. But when you put a true living legend in front of them, I think you respect the game more, and you want to do better. You want to pass on that torch. So, you know, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to get up to New York, to one of these showcases and experience it all. You know, just definitely extremely proud to, you know, say, hey, I'm the head coach of the Jim Couch DMV team.